Yeah. Recording. All right.
Okay.
Should we start?
Sure.
All right. So the first question is, who are you, and what are you doing here?
Who am I and what am I doing here? Very, very broad, I must say. Who am I? Well, I was named Shankari in 1978 by Swami Muktananda.
Mm-hmm.
My original name was Michelle Deborah, now I'm Shankari. And doing here, you mean on the planet right now? It's a mystery.
Whatever you
mystery.
understand.
Because I feel like I'm already very old and probably had my shot. Doing in Bali, I'm in Bali because in Bali I can be very creative.
Mm-hmm.
And creativity is what drives me.
Yeah.
And so in Bali I've got 100 pair of hands to do whatever I like and manifest whatever madness I've got in mind. And so I find that very life enhancing.
Yeah.
Makes me happy to be creative and to teach other people how to be creative and not to keep making excuses or being afraid.
Yeah.
Most important thing is start.
I feel like that's something I've learned here a lot. I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know if I told you, but I feel like that's one of the biggest thing I got from here. And from the mosaic also, it's like, just do it, and you're gonna get it wrong, but you're not gonna do it till you start doing it.
That's
so
right. You've got to
stop thinking
start.
about it. Yeah, 100%.
It's actually a scientific fact that if you already have momentum, a tiny tap can make you go in the right direction.
Yeah.
But if you have no momentum, you'll never go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why you must start.
Yeah.
Start whatever it is.
Yeah. You know, my dad used to say this, like the first step, it's half of the way.
It's true.
Because it's the most hard step.
That's right.
But once you start, there's no ending.
That's right. And also not to be afraid of making mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Of course you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And then you get up and do it again and get a bit better.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of failed mosaics.
I bet.
You just go, oh, well, I don't like that. I did all that work, but now I don't like it, and I'm going to change it.
Let's start again. Yeah, that's what we did the first project, right? Yeah.
Just have to change that because that didn't work. And that's just like life.
Yeah.
Mother Nature's like that. Try something, doesn't work, try something else.
And it works. Yeah, I feel like it's beautiful.
Sooner or later you'll figure it out. But you'll never figure it out if you're not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I feel we are so afraid and we keep that idea of doing things in our mind because we have the control in our mind, right? Like, oh, if I don't try it, I'm not going to fail, right? So I would just think about doing it because I have the control in my head.
That's right, and that's why people are depressed.
Yeah. Mostly, probably.
If you want to stop being depressed, get creative.
Yeah.
You actually create the brain biochemistry of joy when you're busy being creative.
Yeah, I feel that that's my medicine also.
Yeah.
Art, creating. I have some questions related to that also. Alright, I want to ask you also, when you made a decision of coming here, was it something come from a need or a choice because you wanted to? Like, were you scared about it? How did you make that decision? How did you had the guts to make that decision?
Well, when I was first told that I should come here, because I have guides that talk to me and they're quite active.
Yeah.
So when they told me I should come to Bali, I said no. Because in my mind, Bali was full of drunk people on pub crawls doing cheap holidays. Because at the time in Australia, in the 80s, that's what happened in Bali.
Yeah.
At least that was the advertised what happens in Bali.
Yeah.
You get drunk, you hang around and
fun.
Do stupid things and take advantage of a culture, all that stuff. Never appealed to me at all.
Yeah.
And so when I started getting messages, and I mean they were serious messages, visions, dreams, conversations in my sleep, information coming to me while I was awake, It wasn't simple. So I did decide, because of every other thing happening in Australia at the time, was the harmonic convergence in 1987.
Mm.
And you probably don't know what that is,
No.
but it was a big alignment of stars, the planets
Yeah.
aligned. And it was the beginning of something quite new on the planet. There was an
Yeah.
enormous amount of people moving around and change by 1988. So it was late 87.
Yeah.
We had the harmonic convergence, and then after that, big change everywhere. So I decided I would at least leave Sydney, which was my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I went to Perth, 6,000 miles away,
Yeah.
but still in Australia.
Yeah.
But I'd broken the grip that Australia had on me.
Yeah.
Because I was still living in my hometown, Sydney. So by the time I got to Perth, and I created a pretty unhealthy relationship with a guy.
We all learn from that.
That allowed me to project all my future possibilities on him. I went all over the world with him. I left my children in Perth with another family. I rented the house. Everybody moved in. And we were away for about 2 months. And we went to every country you can imagine that did any kind of production of anything, looking for the best place that I should go to make my silver jewellery.
Yeah.
And coming back, I realised the only place was Bali.
Yeah.
So I spent a whole lot of money and time exploring all the alternatives before I came.
Yeah.
So then when I realised it could only be Bali, the only place in the world where they still really make handmade silver jewellery. So I came in 1988 as an exploration, and I moved here in 1989.
Yeah, you liked it.
Well, I saw the opportunities and I saw the possibilities. I ran into a guy from New Zealand who took me to his place, and to be honest, he did create product for his family's department stores in New Zealand, which gave him a big leg up.
Yeah.
But I could see. I was talking to my angels, going, all right, well, if I've got it, if I don't have it as good as this in 5 years, I'm going home.
And your angels respond?
Oh, they just put up with me, really, I suppose. But in 5 years, of course, I lived here, and I wouldn't swap this for anything.
Yeah, really feels magical place. Really
It is a very magical place.
I bet it is. Alright, this is a big one. Do you feel life has a greater purpose?
Does life have a greater purpose? That's an odd question.
Huh?
I don't understand the question.
Do you think there's a reason to be alive?
Yeah, to have fun.
Do you think that's the main reason?
The main reason you're alive is because you chose to come into your lifetime to have this experience, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Would you say we come to life to learn?
Well, that's automatic.
Yeah.
If you've got half a brain, you're always learning.
Well,
but I absolutely disagree with the idea of good and bad, right and wrong, karma, the ladder. You're supposed to be going up this ladder, so you're going to go from being really poor to really rich when you're being good enough.
Yeah.
None of that's true.
I don't believe that.
None of that's true. The truth is, every lifetime that you choose the contract for is an opportunity for your personal evolution, for the sake of your joy.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason.
Do you think that people just experience that evolution if they do it consciously, with the consciousness about it? Like if people are in this life not being related to any kind of a spiritual world or consciousness, do they think they still have an evolution?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's just, where you put yourself in the picture.
Yeah.
Still the same birthday cake.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it. It's just that some people come to it from one direction and others come to it from another direction.
Hmm.
Some have been incarnating for millions of years,
Yeah.
and maybe some have been incarnating for a couple of hundred.
Yeah.
I also look at history carefully, and I always ponder, like, what's been the real change?
Yeah.
And they say, you know, most people don't know how to manage money. Well, why could they?
They.
Money's really only been around for about 200 years in our whole history, which is probably
That's crazy.
20,000, maybe more.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So everybody's doing their best. At the moment, we are going through Kali Yuga, which is really like the end of this era.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen next, but I do know it makes no difference to us.
Why?
Because we're going to experience as much as we can now, and then pass away, and then come back when we're ready and experience the next thing.
Yeah. Do you feel like having that knowledge brings you peace or purpose?
It lets me disengage from all of the idea of competition.
Yeah.
It's about cooperation, not competition.
That's a.
The only person you should be competing with is yourself.
I feel like that's a hard one to learn.
Well, it's because we're being grown up in a culture that's continually comparing.
Yeah.
Good, bad, right, wrong, up, down, black,
Yeah.
white. That is they call that the binary system.
Yeah.
We are living inside it. We choose to agree to it.
Yeah.
But it's just a thought form.
Yeah. I mean.
So here in Bali, they have a different relationship with time. There was nobody that even had a clock. The average person didn't even have a clock in Bali when I came here.
Yeah.
It was just morning and afternoon, lunchtime.
I feel like that must have a big impact on
Yeah.
how society experiments life.
And when there was a wedding, you had 3 days to get there.
Well, such an experience also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you might live on the other side of the island, you know, you
Yeah.
might have trouble with your animals or your children. You've got
Yeah.
3 days to get to the wedding and give your respect.
Yeah.
So it's not about that world of got to be there, hurry up, hurry
Yeah.
up. Because if you're working inside nature, and they were growing rice mostly and harvesting their trees. So that's all very much, you can't rush that.
Yeah.
That's
No.
just how it is.
Yeah. I feel like also, because I've been searching for this kind of learnage, because it's something I know, but not something I apply to my day-to-day life, right? At least when I'm in Barcelona, I try to be very conscious about that, about there's no hurries, like everyone has their timing, whatever. But I feel like your surroundings are very important to where do you want to be, or where do you want to, what do you want to experience in this life? Because if you're surrounded by people that sees life in some way, it's hard to get out of there and just make your little path like, oh no, I'm going to change to the, like,
But that's why God gave you free will.
yeah,
You have free will.
yeah,
Everybody has free will. Even if they think they don't. Oh, I can't. What about this? What about that? What about that? In actual fact, you can do what you want.
yeah, that's true.
It's your choice. And then you give yourself a whole lot of parameters. And they're not necessarily bad. They're just the rules you make for yourself
Yeah,
that make you a stronger person later.
yeah,
I have 5 children. I raised them all by myself. I celebrate that it was difficult, but I succeeded.
yeah, yeah,
It made me a better person. Sometimes in that process, I didn't feel like I was doing what I wanted.
yeah, I guess.
But which me was it? You know, it was my ego. Oh, my ego wants to have a bit of rest now and go out to a party. And my own higher self said, well, no, you can't really do that.
Yeah,
You've got all these babies to look after. You better find a different way to make yourself joyful.
yeah.
And that's what I did.
Do you think you can change the way you think?
Of course,
How?
you just get more educated, read more books. Have more experiences. Go on long journeys like you are.
Yeah.
You know, evolution, they say that wisdom is actually experience that's processed through the heart. So you can't really get wisdom from reading a book.
Yeah.
You only get the wisdom after you've applied what you've learned.
Yeah. And I feel that's what a lot of people, at least I know, trouble with. Because, you know, just reading a book and knowing something new, it's like, oh, regarding, right? So you're like, oh, I know it now. I'm good. Because I feel like when we were talking about later, um, it's much easier to just don't take action and just don't use what you know to change. Because why would you want to change when everyone has always told you that change is something to fear and something that you don't know and that you can control? So
Well, without change, there's no evolution.
yeah, yeah, that's
So
true.
if you don't change, good luck. You probably end up with dementia by the time you're 50
Yeah,
because your brain just stopped working.
that's true. I feel like there's also a lot of people that don't like change and don't change.
But genuinely, human beings are not keen.
What do you mean?
They're not keen on change. You know, they're not that happy to change.
No.
And that's why we're forced into change through
Yeah.
disease, accident, relationships, bad
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah.
You know, I was once told that every bad decision you ever make is actually a key to your own unfoldment, to your own evolution. And so if you never make a poor decision, you're never going to evolve.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to be willing to go out there and fail a few times.
Yeah.
And any millionaire will tell you they lost 2 or 3 fortunes before they had their big one.
Probably. But all we know is that they are rich.
Well, from the outside looking in, that's what it looks like. But in actual fact, everybody has had their journey
Yeah.
and discovered their own magic potion to
Yeah.
create their future in the way they want.
Yeah. I feel like that's a big problematic my generation is facing, because we have all this information and all this media telling us like, oh, this is instant, like, oh, look at that guy,
Well, yes,
became
that's right.
rich in 1 week, oh, look at that girl, she has abs and it's just been 2 weeks working out, and then you're like, what the fuck? But
Well, advertising's taken over the world,
yeah,
and they're all just trying to sell you something. That's all.
that's all.
You've got to be really aware of that. They're selling you something.
Yeah.
But you, to own that thing, have to do the work.
Yeah.
You have to do the work. And one of my own challenges these days is so many people in your age bracket don't know what they don't know. Because they're told all the time they know everything.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know what you don't know, no one can help you.
Yeah.
Because you're stepping forward as if you know everything.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big attitude a lot of people our age has.
Look at that cat. That's why I call that cat Helter Skelter.
Why?
Well, I'm sitting here drawing my jewellery designs and she gets under that painting and drops on my head. Yeah.
What is under that painting?
Lizards. She's chasing geckos.
Ah.
She
Sometimes
had
you
a look
have
just
to-
then and there weren't any, so she left it.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Sometimes you just have to be curious, right?
Cats are very
Curiosity.
curious.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big trait people need.
Humans need to be more curious and less determined to be have it all immediately. You know, I've seen advertisements for workshops
Yeah.
for evolution run by 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
25-year-old guys saying, let me teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You have
No.
not had enough life experience to teach me fucking anything.
And none either if it's like a 2 hours workshop. I'm not gonna learn.
Yes, well, the truth is you have to embody your wisdom through action. Otherwise, you're just noisy
Yeah.
and you have no true purpose.
Yeah. I feel like being grounded also is a very important part of it.
being grounded?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're not in your body, you're no use to anybody.
Yeah.
You can't be useful.
Yeah.
You have to be in your body and sharing wisdom that comes from your personal experience.
Yeah. Not from some book you just read like, oh, now I know how everything works.
That's right.
Because I read it.
That's right.
But you don't
You begin by gathering the information, but then ultimately you have to use that information to understand the limitations.
Yeah. And to, like, actually see if it's real, because I think another thing we really do, our generation, is just take information and I read it, it's true.
Well, there is that too.
Yeah. But, yeah, I wanted to ask you also about art, some things related to art. And I want to ask, what does art mean to you? Do you think it's an art of creation or a form of alchemy?
Well, they're the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, creation and alchemy are the same thing. Alchemy is when you take separate components, mix them together, and get something new and amazing. And that's everything.
Yeah.
That's the whole of life.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So, art and alchemy and life are the same thing. I always used to think art, music, magic, God, they're all the same. They're expressions of that, the infinite wave of creativity that moves through the planet. Probably moves through the through the hemisphere, through the universe, through the galaxies.
Do you...
So art is not a thing.
Yeah.
It's an approach.
To what?
So if you are an artist, you approach something with some humility, with some curiosity, with some admiration for the components.
Yeah.
You enjoy the components, and then you create the ultimate outcome. If you speak to a painter, they'll tell you they love their paintbrushes.
Yeah.
They love their canvases. They love their colours. It's a process of sharing love in a way that you're creating something new.
Yeah.
Listen to that cat.
Yeah.
She's so jealous. She wants to be on everybody to hear her in action.
Yeah. He wants the attention.
Yeah. All right, Helter Skelter, that's enough.
You're the master. You know how they work.
Well, I think art is not what you do, but who you are.
Explain that.
You are either an artist or you're not.
Yeah.
And some people approach life as a scientist, which is like alchemy.
Yeah.
Some people approach it as art, which is just a different kind of alchemy.
Yeah.
And then other people approach it with nothing but fear.
That's true.
And so they've blocked their ability to be an artist.
Do you think everyone can be an artist?
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's an approach. I believe you can make cleaning a floor a work of art. If that's what you want.
Yeah, you definitely could do that.
You can make pruning trees or growing roses your art form. It doesn't have to be paint on canvas or, in my case, jewellery or mosaic.
Yeah.
I love mosaic because I can make something beautiful out of what people throw away.
Yeah. That's very beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah. I feel like that's the most literal way of alchemy, because you really take it.
Well, it's a very simple example.
Yeah. Yeah, and why did you choose jewelry?
When I first came here, it was my mission, by my instruction, to make handmade silver jewellery with gemstones for the light workers of the world. And that was really the mission.
Yeah.
And when I came here, I had no money.
Yeah.
I came here with $500 and 4 children, and I had to figure that out. So it took me nearly a year to have enough money to buy silver and actually create my own workshop.
Yeah.
Because I realised pretty quickly I couldn't use anyone else's workshop because they would never do the quality I wanted.
Yeah.
And they would steal all my designs.
Yeah.
And that happened quite a lot at the beginning. I can still go to Chuluk, the silver village,
Hmm.
and see great-great-grandchildren of mine. They've been very warped over time.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
I have a very weird condition where I can see colour and hear its sound.
Oh.
So I hear the sound of colour. And so when I make jewellery, I'm really making a song of power.
That's beautiful.
And so that's why there are unique pieces for unique people.
Yeah.
And why I do so much variety. I never make 100 of one piece.
Yeah. No, that's so
Because
special.
everybody is much more different than that, or at least my audience is. There is definitely an audience for pieces that you can make 100 of,
Yeah.
but 100 pieces of the same thing are not filled with the kind of love and unique energy that we like to provide to people.
Yeah. What do you feel when you create anything? Mosaic, jewelry, paint?
I feel like I'm in a relationship with the materials and with the spirit that's guiding me.
So do you think it's made through you or by you?
Well, I'm interpreting what's around me and supported in that process by my experience, by my guides, by the whole of who I am. I don't actually think I'm here alone.
Yeah.
I'm here representing my team, and I'm the one that's in the third dimension at the moment. In other lifetimes, I imagine I might be in the back and some other entity in my team is in the front. And it's about having every experience.
Can you explain more of that?
Well, I think that, we're not just us. We are not alone. We have guides and angels and all sorts of support in the unseen real. There's a whole world out there that's unseen. An example is if you had the right device in this room right now, you could tune into a radio station in Russia.
Yeah.
Because that's here in this room right now. We just don't have the device that lets us tune in to that channel.
Yeah.
Just like we're tuned out of talking to our guides or our ancestors or whoever else is in the room with us right now. That's not physical.
How would you say someone can tune in that symphony?
Well, there are those people that can channel energies or that can intuit.
Yeah.
And they're, more sensitive, more awake, more connected.
Do you feel that's something you're born in? Or you
I
can work
myself was born like that. But I think, you choose where you're born, you choose your experiences. Later on, you probably can choose anything you like.
What's God for you?
I've already answered that.
Art?
God is the intelligence behind all life. And it helps us to turn God into a helpful father or a loving mother or a family of saints. It helps us because we're very linear and we're also we consider ourselves as children. That's why there's that term children of God.
Yeah.
But we're never going to be able to love each other fully and heal the planet if we stay children. We have to become the adults. We have to become responsible and recognize we have ultimate power to do what we wish.
Stop being a victim, stop relying the power.
Yeah, we can't be the victim or the powerless child or the princess.
Yeah.
We have to become the queen or the king. And we have to make agreements with the cosmos that are in service to other people, not just to ourselves and our ego.
Do you feel you get to that point by experience?
Yeah, by the choices you make, the experiences you have, how you push and pull the universe to fit your design.
Yeah, I feel a lot about it. It's also embracing the change Because if you stay like all your life afraid and just don't want to step in, you're never gonna get there.
That's right. You're never going to get there if you never start taking action.
Hmm.
That was the beginning of our conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Any message you want to give to the world?
Yes, get up off your ass and do stuff. Get creative, get joyful, learn a musical instrument, learn something.
Hmm.
I'm 74 and I'm now learning Spanish.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It'll be my third language and my 100 millionth skill. But learn something new. Do something that challenges you.
Yeah.
Do something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Makes you think. Makes you sweat.
Yeah.
Makes you grow up.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will be a powerless child forever. And quite honestly, when you stay a powerless child and you're always looking for someone to save you, if you actually ever do get saved, you will fucking hate the person that saved you very quickly.
Yeah.
Because then they think they have control over you. They own you in somehow.
Yeah.
I saved you, you're mine.
Yeah.
No. People hate that.
Yeah.
Individuals hate that. We're well past that.
Yeah.
So grow up.
And save yourself.
Even if you're 80 years old, grow up.
Yeah.
Get creative. Do something new.